Welcome back to another explainer. So today, we're jumping right into a profoundly simple, yet honestly completely transformative practice. It's designed to literally rescue our mornings from the chaos of modern life. We're looking at an immersion called the Silent Sunrise Observation Exercise.
Okay, this is probably going to sound pretty familiar, and maybe a little stressful. Most of us wake up and just instantly hit this massive wall of digital noise. We grab our phones, doom scroll through a mountain of notifications, feel that immediate spike of stress, jump right into planning out the day, and fall straight into the constant comparison trap. We end up totally exhausting ourselves before the day has even truly begun. Well, this practice is a deliberate interruption of that whole exhausting cycle. The big goal here? It's a complete paradigm shift. We're talking about moving away from our default state, what we call mental consumption. You know, that endless loop of overthinking, rapid-fire checking, and just rushing around. Instead, we're learning how to adopt a receiving experience. And all that means is actively slowing down, becoming entirely present, and basically just observing the world as it is. The crucial philosophy behind this whole thing is incredibly simple. Not everything needs immediate interpretation. It's such a powerful reminder, right? We can actually just observe our own thoughts, the changing colors of the sky, the waking world around us. And we don't have to immediately react to them or figure them out. We can just let them be. Now, to actually pull this off, you need the right setup. The ideal setting is an open, natural space. Think a riverside, a hilltop, a garden, the beach, or honestly, even just a quiet terrace works. It just needs to be safe, minimally distracting, naturally beautiful, and ideally with a clear view of the horizon. Bring the essentials: a yoga mat, a journal, some water, maybe a light jacket. But listen, there is a strict, non-negotiable boundary here. Absolutely no phones. Yes, for sure, that means you've got to resist the urge to post that beautiful sunrise on Instagram. So, the exercise itself is about a 30 to 45-minute journey. We move gradually from arrival at minute 0 through grounding and observation, all the way to silent journaling around minute 40. It's this really carefully structured descent from all that external stimulation we talked about down into deep, peaceful internal awareness. Let's walk through these 6 specific steps that make up this methodology. We're going to intentionally slow our own pace down a bit here as we explore exactly how this stillness unfolds, from that initial arrival all the way to the final written reflection. Starting off with step 1 and 2, arrival and grounding. The journey kicks off with silently walking to your chosen space for about 5 minutes. Then, as you physically settle in, the facilitator gives this absolutely crucial instruction. Feel the earth beneath you. You do not need to become calm. Simply notice what is already happening inside you. They really emphasize that there's no pressure here to, perform spirituality or for some kind of inner peace. The only goal is pure, unjudging awareness of whatever state you happen to be in right now. Moving into step 3, we anchor that awareness right into the present moment, and we use the breath to do it. A simple 4-second inhale and a 6-second exhale works great. But hey, there's no forced rhythm here. Actually, scratch that. It's not even about counting perfectly. It's just about focusing on the physical sensation of air entering and leaving your chest, just letting your body settle naturally into the space. And then comes the absolute core of the practice, step 4. This is 15 to 20 minutes of entirely silent observation of the sunrise. During this window, 0 instructions. You just watch the changing colors, the emerging light, maybe feel the air moving, you listen to the birds, and internally, you just watch your own rising thoughts and emotional reactions surface. Just remember the golden rule: no goals, no intellectualizing, and absolutely no interpretation. Now, if you're actually the one leading this exercise, your role is all about gentle presence. It's about maintaining a calm energy, speaking slowly, allowing for nice long pauses, and truly respecting the silence. And that means actively fighting the urge to over-explain the spiritual side of things, forcing emotional sharing, or giving some grand motivational speech. It's entirely about gently holding the space, not dominating it. During that long stretch of silence, the facilitator might softly drop in a few reflection prompts, just asking you to look inward. Prompts like, what inside me is restless? Or maybe a question like, what am I constantly rushing toward? Let's actually take a second to ask ourselves that right now. Just hit pause on your daily rush for a moment to honestly consider that question. And finally, what changes naturally when I stop forcing? These carefully timed prompts beautifully highlight the stark contrast between our everyday habit of forcing things and the simple, radical act of quietly receiving the morning. Let's see how this all builds into the final phases, steps 5 and 6. Here, participants briefly close their eyes to scan their internal state. You're checking for body tension, breathing patterns, maybe mental speed, just to see if your internal pace has actually shifted. This is immediately followed by 10 minutes of private, silent journaling. You just write down what you noticed, outside and inside. What thoughts kept returning, what felt difficult about the silence, what became clearer, and what actually felt peaceful. It's just a great way to tangibly process that profound silence. Okay, moving to part 2, the impact, both psychological and ecological. Because beyond just having a uniquely peaceful morning, the psychological impact here is literally a complete mental reset. By consciously stepping away from all that mental consumption, we dramatically reduce our cognitive overload, our emotional reactivity, and that constant nervous system overstimulation. And in return, we see massive spikes in mindfulness, emotional awareness, nervous system regulation, and clear, reflective thinking. It's a real game changer. But zooming out beyond our own minds, the practice also subtly fosters an ecological justice connection. By stepping outside and watching the world transition from darkness to light, we reconnect with natural rhythms. It builds environmental awareness and really reminds us of our deep interdependence with the earth. It is, quite literally, a masterclass in the value of slower, conscious living. It teaches us this vital lesson straight from the earth itself, captured perfectly in this phrase, nature does not rush, yet transformation happens. Just think about that for a second. Profound progress and real transformation. They do not require frantic speed or constant buzzing stress. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this closing reflection. Every sunrise happens gradually. Transformation also happens gradually. You do not need to force awakening. You only need to become available to it. So what could change in your life, your work, or your relationships if you simply stopped forcing, put down the phone, and made yourself entirely available to the gradual transformation of the day?